Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to episode 9 of our space exploration playthrough. I didn't do a whole lot between episodes. I believe I improved our steel production by just copy-pasting our design and flipping it so that now we're using a full red belt of iron ore into steel just to be able to make more heat shielding and electric furnaces because we'll be using those for our purple science soon. And then I also increased my stone mining just to make sure I can handle the full belt for stone bricks here. So today we are going to work on getting rails automated, get production science going, and hopefully we can get to beacons. That's my goal for this episode. And then more power, as we talked about before. You'll always need more power once you get beacons going. Even if I don't, it looks like, I think I mentioned this earlier, but the beacon, they only use, these ones only use 200 kilowatts. But I'm not sure exactly how all that works. I may or may not, like, is it going to use more power if I put in more modules? I'm just not sure. We'll have to investigate that once we get there. So the first thing I need to do is think about, if I go back to my purple science, production science, 1 per second would still be optimal. I don't know if I'm going to get there. That would require 0.67 heat shielding. Oh, and another thing I did between episodes is just put more modules in a lot of different places. Productivity and speed, mostly. So this is 0.47. And I think I have that much steel. And so if I... maybe if I just speed these up a little bit. And 0.34... yeah, no, that I already have... oh, okay, so 0.34 of these is actually what I need. But I need 0.37 heat shielding, or 0.67 heat shielding to accomplish that. So really, if I can just get the productivity modules and furnaces connected to a rail output, then that should be enough for production science. And we'll put productivity in all of these to start with, because pretty soon I'll have beacons and I can speed them up. So I'm actually going to try to see what that might look like. So the beacons, I don't use this very often, so I got to remember number of beacons affecting one factory. So that will only ever be 1. Number of beacons per factory. I'm going to guess each beacon will hit 4 factories, so that's 0.25. Constant number of beacon. Not exactly sure what to do there, but let's just imagine we place 4 speed and 1, 2, 3, 4 energy into 1. And then in the actual buildings, we will place 2 productivity modules. Then we can see I'll only need 7 assembling machines. Interesting, so I can play with this. So if I remove a speed, you can see the number of machines that I need goes up. And if I remove the efficiency, you can see the power I need goes up. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll go with that because it's a nice even 6 buildings. But to save power usage, maybe we'll go up to 8 buildings. And then we can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules for power so that we use a lot less power. 3.2 megawatts still feels like a lot. And I'm not going to need 6.63 beacons, so I made some sort of mistake here. What if I change that to 1? Does that change the numbers? So it's showing 6.63 right here, and if I change this constant to 0, maybe that's what I wanted. Oh, and this didn't change to 0.25. Enter. That's better, so I will only need 2 beacons. And it looks like, did that change my power? Interesting. Oh, it was counting the 200 megawatts per beacon. Interesting. So that's really handy, actually. So it'll consume that when it's running at full, and obviously it'll consume a lot less otherwise, but it will consume that 400 kilowatts for 2 beacons all the time. so we'll settle with that. And then that only needs 0.6 heat shielding and 8.93 rails. Can we put productivity in rails? We cannot. So we'll need 4 steel, 4 stone, and 4 sticks, which is half as much iron. And we already have all of those things right here. Steel, stone. Perfect. So we'll have this go up. I think we needed 3. 1, 2, 3. And we will need iron, though. Do I have iron anywhere nearby? I don't, so I'll put iron on the bottom of this belt, like so. And then the iron will go all the way up. And then here we will need something like this. Make sure only stone continues on that belt. And then the iron, we can do this. I love using underground belts to split belts in half. Okay, so now we have rails. 1, 2, 3. So we need 4.5 sticks. I wonder if one of these will be enough. Sticks, resources. Nope, manufacture. There we go. That'll do 3 sticks. So we'll need 2 of these, making sticks. We'll put them here. And then we already have this steel and stone ready to go. So what we'll do, I'm going to move this up just a little bit. And then we will cut the steel in half. And then the stone we will have join up with the steel like this. And then the sticks we will have coming across like that. And I imagine if I ever need more rails, I can just beacon this whole setup to be a lot faster. Okay, that should do it. We'll place these far away like that, and then input like so. And then I think we can do productivity there. That'll still be 4.7, which is enough. So that should do it. We've got rails automated. That was easy. We will have an output priority right, but then this will go into a chest because at some point we'll want rails. So we'll do a full, is that 2,000? I think they stack to 100. Yeah. So 2,000 rails should be more than enough for my purposes, at least for now. And then we'll combine that with the furnaces. And what's the last thing we need for purple science? It is productivity modules. So let's see, am I producing enough? I theoretically can produce 0.75 per second. And Helmod says I only need 0.3. So I will add, so I'll need to do an inserter, long inserter. Need to move this power pole. And I'll kind of escape the productivity modules like that. And then if I know what's good for me, I will put a circuit restriction here so that this inserter will only run if productivity module 1 is greater than, let's say, 30. So that way we will always use productivity modules for science before we use them for making more modules. There are better solutions for long term, but for now I think that's what I'll go with. I'll make this go out further to leave room for beacons. And then we'll go across right here. Don't need that turret. And we'll make those on different sides of the belt. Have these come down, across, This will be output priority right, which is to science first. Actually, maybe I should fill up the chests first because I'm only going to use those for myself. So we'll do it that way. Science can always wait a little bit if you need to make a new assembling line. What do I want to do? I think I want to go vertically rather than go all the way out to the left. So we will run these straight down. Just keep messing that up. And we'll need to move all these. Let me get some long poles. Make that work. And then I have room for beacons there if I need them. So there we go. So this should be our setup for purple science. We said we needed 8. I'm just going to do the classic setup. I can put beacons on the backside. I did that wrong though. It needs to be closer. Then I will output onto a belt. And we'll put some power there, and we will even select. Let's go ahead and select the recipe. And then we'll put 2 productivity modules in. And science, I'm going to want to go out the bottom, I think. The top. Probably the bottom. So we'll even get those belts ready like this. And this way I do a lot less work after I copy paste. Nanobots have gotten a lot faster as I've done some more research, as you can see. And I need to turn that one a little bit. So that should do it. And it looks like we are producing these way too slowly because we're out of steel. Did I mess up my steel input to these, or is it just out of steel? Oh, I did. So this needs to go straight. That was the steel that was providing to the electric furnaces. So I need to also provide the steel to the rails with a different underground. So we'll maybe... We'll go this way. Underground. Underground. And then we'll go across. Like this. Meet up with the stone. Not the most elegant solution, but that's pretty much the name of the game these days, right? Just get it done. So we've already got lots of rails. And that's only 9 per second. We need 8.93, so that should be perfect. Especially once I speed things up a little bit with productivity. Or I guess I already have productivity here, so we can just speed those up with speed modules and efficiency, which I might as well do now. We'll do half and half. So that way, it does use less power, like I explained earlier. Faster crafting speed with the same power is less power overall. And then it has some extra throughput in case we used our rails at the same time we're using them for research. So we're officially getting purple science going. Now let's just get that routed over. I'd like to just jump through this setup here. And go alongside the green science. Hopefully there's enough room here. We can cut this corner off. And we will place a chest with some mini loaders, have a buffer. I'm going to make the buffer for this a little smaller just because they're so expensive. We'll do that for now. And now we have reached the stage of the game where I need to rethink my science setup. Okay, well, I have inventory space, so let's just deconstruct all of this. And then I'm trying to think, so we're not going to want to, well, we may want to direct insert But we'll want to set it up in such a way that I can make sure every lab gets beaconed. Don't know what happened there. I don't actually know how to cancel that. Shift deconstruction planar. There we go. Okay. Alright, so I want my labs to be... I'm trying to think of a good way to do this. So let's say this is my beacon. How many labs can I fit around one beacon? So if we do the offset by 1 trick, we can fit 4, I believe. And then something like this. And then I can even fit... Well, these can be down by 1. Let's open these. And then I can fit 2 in between, like so. So all of those can be impacted by 1 beacon, which is either here or here. Let's just imagine it's here. Then I need 3 types of science pack. So we'll have 3 belts. I wonder if I can just pass, because I have fast inserters now, so I wonder if I can just pass the science packs around. This doesn't feel very elegant, but maybe it'll work okay. So I'd like to be able to have these go through. Maybe something like this. And then these can be close. And then we can do that and that. That seems to work. So these will be 6 types of science pack. And then we can place all 3 types in these first 2. And then have inserters pass from building to building. And then maybe place... So let's imagine copy pasting this. We would have 1 space in between, but we'll want to use some of that space to pass into these first ones, like that, and something like this. So that will be all in this row. So then in this row, just thinking if I can pass backwards. Potentially not. I don't know if I have the space. So then, let's see, we'll go middle from these 2. And then this one will be the edge. Well, he can't reach all the way, so I actually need to get this one from the middle. And then this would be from the middle, and this would be from the bottom edge. So all 3 types are going into this. I'm going to power this just to prevent my eyes from seeing those blinking lights the whole time. Okay, and then I need to do the same thing here. Unfortunately, he can't grab from here. So how am I going to get this one into this? I will move like this, and then inserter grabbing from the bottom right. So that'll do it. And then we'll turn both of these 90 degrees and make them long inserters. So we're grabbing from the middle, the top, and the bottom right. Then we need to place into this lab from this one, stack size to 1. Then we need to place into this lab from that one, this lab from that one. And then this one's interesting. I may need to insert diagonally like that with a long inserter. And then this one can go in here from there. So I think that works. Do the same thing here. Grab from there. Grab from the left. Where'd that go? I still haven't been hit by a meteor. Probably should work on meteor defense at some point, but they haven't been massively threatening. And then this one, we need to drop to the bottom right, and then this one inserts from there. And then I'm guessing power poles here, 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 and here. And then in the corners. So that should be a nice beaconed setup that I can copy paste. And I think direct insertion will be okay because I'm only going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 labs per chain. Fast inserters work quite quickly. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Stack size needs to be 1 on all of these. Okay, perfect. So I am going to cut that, put it in my blueprint book, and then we will place one, I guess as many as we can fit. I'm going to move these lines so that I can put 2 rows of them. But for now, we'll just do this. We'll leave 2 squares beneath them. And can I fit a third? Can if I move this over, which I will. And then we need more undergrounds, as well as more belts. Get rid of my regular belts, and we need more inserters. Okay. Man, this is pretty ugly, but I think it'll work. So this type of science will go there. Blue and military will go there, and then purple, which I need to restrict to one side. We'll do that by doing this. Purple will come down, go over, and go into this top row. And now we've got production science automated. Feels good. And it looks like our production science is still going. We're a little short on electric furnaces because I made a mistake here. This needs to be turned. There we go. So it looks like we're actually running at full speed right now, which is good. Okay, so now we can work on... I don't love that, but that's fine. Now we can work on researching beacons. Basic beacon, let's do it. We got Rails, production science, and basic beacons. So beacons require, I guess I should use FNEI. Circuits, motors, concrete, and steel plates. So we already have trying to think of the best place to get all of those. We already have red circuits here. Electric motors we can make anywhere we have iron and copper. So we need iron, copper, steel, concrete, red circuits. So maybe actually over here, and we'll just bring red circuits over. Because we already have copper, we have our concrete, we have iron and steel on this line. So we can pretty easily make beacons over here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'll just need to bring red circuits over. So this guy will go out. We will have copper coming over. So we've done this quite a few times. So we'll need gears into motors. And then we'll have copper cable into electric motors. So I think we can do this. Something like this. I'm just trying to make it as compact as I can. Electric motors, regular motors, gears, and cable. And then those get placed into our beacon creator. There we go, basic beacon. And we need concrete and steel, so we'll run this past. Let's go around. And then we need to bring over concrete, which is on this line. Can I split that? I don't think I can. We'll just take it out of another chest that already has concrete. Bring this down and over. And then we just need red circuits on this, I guess the top of this line. So on the bottom of this chain right here. So we need red circuits on the bottom. Which we will take out of our chest that we use for personal stuff. And those are on the bottom. Perfect. Quick and dirty beacons. We'll place those in a chest. Not sure how much they stack to. Looks like they stack to 10. So we'll do 5 stacks. Although we're not going to need quite as many because you can only have 1 beacon per building. So let's actually just try. We need our motors. We'll just try 4 stacks. And motors are not getting these motors. There we go. And it's 10 motors per beacon, so I don't really need 1 per second. Although, wait, that would be 1 per 10 seconds. So for now, I'm okay speeding this all up. I'm actually short on copper, even with this having speed modules. 4.8 per second is only enough for a little bit less than 1 electric. That's fine, I can wait. Because we've got beacons going. And the crafting rate for beacons, let's see, they need 15 seconds. So, speed that up too. Yeah, actually, that can only use 0.8 at the most. But what am I talking about? We have beacons, so we can actually make all of this better. So with this one, I will go ahead and plop in half speed, half efficiency. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch all these to productivity. And see how we're looking. So now I can craft 0.1 per second, and this gives us more than enough. I think I'm still short on copper, but let's see. It's 0.98. I don't know. This seems to be running just fine, so I think I'll just leave it the way it is. I've got as much productivity as I can have, and I honestly might even just make it use even less power. That's so handy. I like having 8 modules in one. That's cool. But it means you can't put, you know, because this is 4 beacons worth compared to vanilla, but you can't put more than one of these around. So you're limited at 4, but the usage of beacons is much simpler over time. But you can't put like 8 beacons around one building. So that kind of stuff is done. But we have finished beacons. So we'll work on beaconing things in a minute, probably after we've gotten some more beacons. For now, why don't we see... Let's get rid of all this science. And why don't we see what we can do with purple science? Oh, and we need to actually beacon our science. So that should probably be the first thing we do. Let me find my beacons, put them on the hotbar. And it looks like I set that up correctly, thank goodness. And then we will put productivity in all of these. I think I can just paste that. I might need to go grab some more productivity twos. I don't know if I have enough. And we'll start with, yeah, I mean, their power usage, even with all speed modules there, is only 276 kilowatts. So that's not too bad. There we go. So overall research speed, it doesn't tell me anything, but we've got 4.5 per lab, and we've got 36 labs. So whatever 36 times 4.5 is, somewhere around 120, 140 research speed. So we'll see how fast it feels. I would like to do core mining at some point. We'll put that on our list along with Meteor Defense, and we'll want the Meteor Defense installation because that lets us protect the whole planet at once. So we'll get that researched. Coal liquefaction, automation 3. Those are two things I will definitely want, along with module 3s, which I will probably do, but not quite yet, because I'm going to need to make my processing unit set up faster. I'm going to want to beacon everything so that I can get modules as cheaply as possible. Uranium processing and nuclear power. I'm trying to decide if I want to go with nuclear power. I think I will at some point. It just depends on how high our power needs go. We probably should get mining productivity 3 done before everything else. It takes a lot, though. 1,000 purple packs is going to take a while. Oh, and then logistics bots. Oh, right. I need not purple, but I need yellow science for logistics bots. So that is going to still take a bit longer because those need low-density structures, which are very expensive in terms of, well, pretty much everything. Iron, stone, copper, and crude oil. Although I guess the glass will end up being somewhat cheap because I discovered these pulverizers can take 4 modules. So with 4 modules, I end up getting something like almost 4 stone per, 4 sand per stone. And then glass only uses 4 sand. So 1 stone equals 1 glass, essentially, when you're using a pulverizer. So that's not too bad, but 10 glass would still be 10 stone. So those low density structures will require a lot. And the mining, or the researching speed seems adequate. So let me place all of my spare science packs here. Red. Green. Military. And purple. Awesome. Okay. So, let me think about... Oh dear. I have made a mistake. How are engines getting on this line? Oh, I see it now. This needs to be facing down. Wait. What did I do here? Blue science is coming from here. Ha! Wow. Took way too long to spot this. Apparently, I'm outputting blue science in 2 places. So I really don't need these. That's embarrassing. I'm imagining when you guys saw me do this, gosh, I think this was 2 episodes ago now, you were like, what are you doing? Okay. We'll try to get rid of at least all of our engines here. I do want to keep 1 full stack. And then that should work okay now. So we'll just need to grab all the engines off of this belt. And then red circuits are supposed to be going up, so they've made their way all the way down to here. Man, this is why you gotta be careful. I was not paying enough attention, I guess. Okay, so I think I've gotten all the engines out. So we'll get rid of all my ingredients here. So we'll take some steel back. And then I will take some red circuits back, so I have 200. And we'll leave that going. Okay, did I unlock yellow assemblers? I did. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's see, I need concrete, electric engines, advanced circuits. Where else am I using electric engines? Nowhere. So concrete, red circuits, So I could bring red circuits down, though they're not super close. I may just wait for bots, and I'll handcraft until then. So let's grab another stack of 50 here. Because assembling machine 3s are a big deal, because I can put more modules in them. Let's see, I can fit, yeah, 4 modules in these. So replacing all my expensive creators, and then I can get 4 productivity modules instead of just 2, and that will double my productivity from 12% to 24%. And looking at my power, we are low. You can see my to-do list for more power is quite necessary. I think it's probably the labs. They're taking, let's see, about 10 megawatts for research. So we will go ahead and add more power. First thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 20 boilers. Should be enough for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still have enough for 80 megawatts in terms of process fuel. So we'll just add some more on this side. Place this out of the way. And then we will copy our design here. Three, 4, 5. Connect all these up with water. Actually, just do this. Looks like we're producing enough water for all that. Okay, so now we're sitting almost at our 80 megawatt limit. I'll probably need to add more power later as well, or maybe even start thinking about nuclear, or even just a big solid fuel setup. But for now, that'll work. You can see I'm trying to mine out the little patch of iron we had at the beginning, and there's some overlap with coal, or at least there was at some point, so I had that filtered out going back up to my coal, but that's just trying to clean up over time. We'll grab some more beacons. And we will beacon, I think the first thing we should beacon is our blue circuit set up here. So that'll get all 6 of those. This will get all 6. This will get all 6. And so we'll want to switch. So I didn't have 2 productivity in these because it slowed down the red circuit's a little bit too much, but I'm going to switch that. Switch that over, because now we're going to be going a lot faster. And we'll just go ahead and place all speed. And then see how fast that makes these. That goes up to 0.16, whereas before they're 0.059. So that's almost tripling, about. So I'm going to reduce the power usage, I think, just a little bit. Try to cut back on how much power these take. Because right now I've got plenty of blue circuits. I really should have designed this in such a way that the red circuits could also be extracted, because I feel like I'm wasting potential here. That was not my proudest design. But, so if this is running at full tilt, both of these together will use 8 copper cable, and these only produce 4.7, so I will need some beacons for the copper cable, which I'll try to offset in such a way that we get 4 of those and 4 of these red cables. That one's overloaded. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And the last 4 like this. Okay. And then let's try half and half. That gets us 8.76736, which is enough. What if I got one more efficiency? Not quite enough. 7.7. Okay. So then the nice balance is right here. And I think that'll do it. We'll copy that. And then that will also help out with my red circuits here. So that should give me more than enough red circuits now. I'm now putting 1.736 after all of these modules. So we can also, if we really need to, we can add more speeds to these so that they'll give us more red circuits, but that comes at the cost of making the cables up here less efficient. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, I think with that change, I'm happy to do module 3s. We still have our mining productivity research. That'll take a little while, but I'll go ahead and queue up module 3s after that. And then let's check on our purple science, which seems to have slowed down. We are short on rails. And rails are short on steel. And steel is probably just short altogether. I'm imagining that's the problem. I really need that belt immunity. I was all excited about it earlier, and then I never made one. So we are going to do that right now. Take out a single solar panel. And we are immune to belts. That feels good. Awesome. Okay. So steel is just short in general. Let's go take a look at our steel production. Looks like we're not quite getting a full belt of iron, which I can fix that with more iron mines. But we're getting close to a full belt. So at some point soon, I will want to come up with an electric furnace design that allows me to use beacons and full productivity modules. So let's think about what that might look like. So we only get 2 modules for each one of these. So I think I could just do this. And then have the iron come in like so. And then we'll place in from the sides. And I might even... I'll probably just want to have one layer of beacons in between this two. 2, 3. Well, we can just sandwich the setup. A few extra beacons won't hurt me. Because I can't think of a way that if we have the beacon there, and then I move this to be in between the two, even if I have long inserters, that doesn't quite work. I guess I could do this. And then is there room for a beacon in between? There is not. Oh, well, if I do it that way though, I can just do this. And then this beacon will actually get all 4. So yeah, that works pretty nicely. And then, since that beacon will be there, we won't have room for another belt, I don't think. Yeah, there's not. I mean, I could do something fancy where I have another underground belt that kind of goes along the side here, but what I think might be the easiest solution is we actually place on the close side of the belt, and we only use half a belt at a time with one of these rows. And so we'll place all 4 of these onto, let's just say, the far side of the belt, like that. And then we'll go ahead and change the drop tile for all of them to be 1 down or 1 up. And so now they're all placing on this side of the belt, so we'll just have the iron come in on this side. And I think that works just fine. Unless I missed something. I have missed something. I run out of room for inserters there. But I think we can make this work as well. So we'll do that. And then these need to place down 1. So we're taking ore, placing into both of them, and then we're inputting from each of these furnaces onto the right spot. And we can place power pole, and that powers everything with a beacon in the middle. And I think for this, I will want to go with max speed, productivity. And we'll see. Yeah, of course, no recipes. Just as a test, I will go ahead and see what this looks like in terms of speed. Get that powered. So it looks like their crafting speed is plus 100%. So, okay, we have that steel issue again. You know, you'd think I'd learn. So we're going to need filter inserters for all of them that are inserting in, because they can only insert. So maybe I'll try to think about how to do with a different belt, because if I want to switch this, you know, for example, to copper, then I'll need to change it to copper ore. So I don't know if I want to deal with filter inserters for every setup. So I'm wondering if I can fit another underground belt to go along with this and just insert onto that. So that would look something like this. And then that, I'm trying to think of a way to make this consistent. So it would look like that, I think. And the other one would come up from underneath. So, do I have enough squares? I need 8, because two inserters for each. So 1, 2. I have enough squares here. Overall, let's just see if I can make it work. So those two can insert in, but then I can insert out like that. I don't know if that's in the right spot where it would be, though. It would be directly below. So actually, I don't even need it to be long. I can just do that. And then let's pay attention. Let's keep stuff from the right side on the right side. So we'll put that on the right side of the belt. And then this one needs to insert in, which we can turn this around. It's really frustrating that inserters grab modules. I don't understand why you would ever do that. Feels like something that you should be able to disable. I don't. If you can, let me know, because I've never known that you can do that. I think this inserter will be fast enough to handle 1.35 per second. It'll like reach out, grab it, then reach back in. So those are both, or this needs a place up. So now those are both running. This needs to grab from up. Now they're both running. Green lights. And then these can place and just long insert and long insert with drop tile up here. Okay, that actually worked out fairly nice. We just need to drop on the close side of the belt for these two. And now we have a design that is tileable. And to make this tile a little better, I think I'm going to go 90 degrees for that, and then I can insert 90 degrees with this one. So that way it's self-contained and I don't need to grab from the section before it. So I've got the first section done. Now let's see if I can get this one done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you kidding me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only have 7 squares available here. So that means I'll need to use substations. That's fine. I don't mind using substations. So we'll need to place in like this. We'll place out and out. We want the far side, we want the right side. These two are both correct, I think. And then we want to place in from this one. And then we want to place out both up and down on the close side. This one needs to place out on the close side, and this needs to input. So we'll just need some substations, and I think that will work fine. So I might as well delete this power pole, because I'm not going to need it. And we'll just have substations on the outside, like so. And let's just test a little bit here to make sure they all run at full speed. Make sure these are reset. Okay, looks like they're all running. I don't see any issues. And it looks like that alone can take care of 10 iron per second. So we only need 3 of these. Let's make sure that inserter, yeah, okay. It just had a backlog, but it can handle, they can all handle the speed just fine. Beautiful. Okay, so we will, shoot, I didn't want to erase that. There we go. Okay, so we'll want to copy paste this. I will cut. We'll even include the substation, why not? And I will put that into our blueprint book as general smelting. Save. And so that should really help with our productivity. We'll get 12% more iron plates and then 12% more steel. So the overall effect is something like 25% more steel for free. And let's... I think I have enough electric furnaces to do that. My inventory is pretty full. So we'll let this keep running for now. Let me get rid of my iron. And we'll just place another line right next to it. Starting here. Oh dear. And this will be a line of pure iron. So I'll actually have it come down and then it'll feed into a line of steel going up. So 1, 2, 3. I guess I didn't need to have it this tall. That's fine. And I'll need a lot more modules for everything. Need way more productivity modules. We'll run the iron up. Test all of this. We can do a full belt. I could just switch the directions. Maybe that's better. All the iron go up, the ore go up, and the steel come down. So we'll go up like this, and we'll have to erase these. And we'll go up through. Pretty easy to see where the underground belts go. All the happy inserters waiting for their input. And then we'll power the substations. And we're rolling. And that should produce the iron we need for steel, which we'll put right next to it. I'll have to deconstruct all of this. I don't think I have the inventory space for it, actually, right now. So let me get rid of all that. I'll need to get rid of some iron plates here. And then I'll need to actually craft some more nanobots. Looks like our meteor defense is done. Put that on our to-do list. Add new meteor defense. And I do think I want to turn up the meteor incidence rate again. I had turned that down. Okay, so we need... I'm going to take a quick detour to replace these with full productivity modules, because that's the most expensive thing we make right now. So I'll take my 100 productivity modules, and we will fill these guys up. So now we've at least got 24% productivity, and they still have a rate of 0.7, which is good enough for now. We could place a beacon or two, but we'll work on this steel improvement first. Okay, so we need to cut everything from here down. We'll make some more nanobots, because we'll use a lot. I'll help them out. Sorry if this is a little loud. Okay, looks like we got everything from there. There's a lot of entities here. And my inventory's full. Shoot. Shoot, shoot. Okay. Let's just get rid of some stuff. so it doesn't fall all over the ground. Already got a big enough mess. I gotta play pickup sticks. Okay, so it looks like that's all good. And I shouldn't have placed the chest there. Let's get it out of the way. I really don't need all that processed fuel. And then we are just going to... Well, I can't copy that because that's opposite directions, because we want both of them to go up. So I'll just find it in here. General smelting. Those are going up. And because I already have beacons in the middle, I don't have any need for space in between these two, as far as I know. Hopefully I don't regret that. But I think that works. 2, 3. And then we will have the iron go over and up. And that should be good to go. I need all these back. Take out the iron ore. And then we'll take out the iron plates and distribute those a little bit. And then we just need power. And previously I only had steel on one side of the belt, on the top side. So we're actually going to keep that going. I may need to fix that. That's the wrong side. So like this. And then we need to power everything. Substations don't quite connect. Not sure why all the little bot symbols. I thought I had placed productivities. Oh, I had placed productivity 1 modules in these. That's why they're being strange. So I need to fix all that. There we go. Okay, so I may actually need more because this is producing 31.9, but this is only using 28. So I actually need a couple more steel to use a full belt. So we will run this down a little farther. And then we will copy the design one more time. One more set of 4. And I will actually just cut it off. Need these gone. I'll cut off these bottom 4. Did want the substation. And then we want something like that. And then these can all go away. Because the way, you know, productivity works, you end up producing... Before the ratio is perfect, but now the ratio is a little different. So now we're using a full 33, which is more than 1 red belt. So that's great. This will use a lot less iron ore per steel. And now I have as much steel as I can get from 1 full belt of iron. Which they should be producing, once they get started, probably all the way up to these last 2. Yeah, because if I leave 2 off, it's almost exactly 30. Awesome. Okay, it looks like we're not using this full belt, though. I wonder what the hang-up is. This isn't flowing freely. It's not getting to here. Oh, there's fuel on this belt. That's what's happening. So let's try clearing it out. There we go. Now they're all running. I'm not sure why... Oh, there's not enough power. That's what the little symbol's about. These are using a lot of power. Wow. You know, between episodes, I may end up adding some efficiency modules into these and just making them another section longer, just to save a little bit of power. You know, 1 efficiency module will make a big difference over the course of all of these. I mean, I have 52 of these all using almost an entire megawatt each, so you can see why I'm strapped for power. I may actually just make a little change now, even if it means I'm not quite smelting a full belt. still smelting 24, and I'll call that good enough. That'll save me a lot of power. Not quite enough still, though. We'll get the power improved. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So we've improved our steel, we've got electric furnaces automated, and we have beacons. In between episodes, I think I'll do a lot of beacon work. I hope that doesn't bother you. If you missed that, it's not going to be super interesting. I'm just going to be placing beacons around all these things that craft circuits and various things made of iron, all my science packs, so that I can put productivity modules into these without having to worry about them being too slow. So I may even make some of the builds a couple buildings smaller. Like, I probably only need 8 of these with the green or yellow. I'm still not sure. It looks more yellow when you place it, but it looks more green in the icon. But I may only need 8 of these with the blue. So I may replace a lot with the yellow assemblers and beacons and stuff. It's just a lot of busy work. Hopefully that doesn't bother you to miss. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Let me know what you think in the comments.